All right, how's it going, everyone? Back at you today with another beginner series video. So today we're going to be going over how to complete an effective warm-up, some of the things that you need to consider, and some of the objectives that you need to hit when you are doing your warm-up. So without further ado, let's get right into it. With any effective warm-up, I'm usually of the opinion that there are three objectives that you would like to hit whenever you are completing a warm-up or doing a warm-up to be sure that you're ready for your workout. So number one is stretch. You want to be sure that you are stretching the muscle effectively, whatever muscle group that it is. You want to be sure that it is primed and ready to go for your workout. Number two is elevating your heart rate. Now, this isn't something to where you are elevating it to where you are tired before you even get into it, but you want to get your heart rate, your cardiovascular system ready and primed so that when you go into your workout, it's going to be a lot better for you and you're a lot more prepared. And then number three is making sure that your muscles are warmed up so that they're not tight and brittle whenever you're coming in to do your movements. If they're tight and brittle, that increases your risk of injury, and we want to try to avoid that. So those are the three objectives that I try and hit whenever I do a warm-up. So the warm-up that I'm going to build for you all is going to be for the general lifter, the general person that's coming in just to improve their overall health, to improve their overall fitness, anything like that. They're not going to be specific warm-ups for specific different populations. Make it general, I'm going to make it basic. And with any terms that I utilize, I'm going to make the definition as basic as I possibly can. So with that, there are three different things, three different avenues that I like to pursue whenever I do a warm-up. So the first one is foam rolling. I like to be sure that I foam roll. Then I go into my stretching, whether it's static or dynamic. And then I like to do something at the very end that will get me ready to go and get me warmed up. So some sort of cardio or some sort of movement that will elevate my heart rate a little bit. So the first one that we're going to tackle is going to be foam rolling. So there's a lot of different avenues that you can take and a lot of different opinions in the fitness industry. I'm going to give you mine just based off of my 6+ years of experience, personal training, and based off of my knowledge through my degree in exercise science, what the foam rolling entails and when the best way to use it is. You're going to hear a lot of people say to throw it at the end. It's going to be the best way to do that, or most optimal for muscle growth or recovery or whatever the case may be. For me personally, I throw it at the beginning of your workout in your warm-up, and I throw it at the very end in your cool down. So there's a lot of different reasons as to why. A lot of people feel as though the foam rolling is best when your muscles are warmed up and you can go through the movement, get out any knots that you may have, and then promote blood flow in that specific area that you're foam rolling. I like to throw it at the very beginning because number one, the knots, we want to be sure that we get those out, and it helps improve your stretching a little bit more, helps improve your mobility a little bit more. So when you're doing full range of motion, going out into the gym, doing your workout, it's a lot easier to do because you've already foam rolled and you've stretched. So you've done two different things to be able to prepare you a little bit more when you go out into the gym. So I do that, number one. And number two, it helps promote blood flow. So that's another reason some people like to put it at the end. I also like to put it at the beginning, especially if you're going from, if you've just woken up and you're coming into the gym, or you just got off work and you're coming into the gym. I feel as though that definitely helps you and adds an extra layer of protection. So when you go into the gym, you lower your risk of injury, but you're a lot more warmed up, primed, and ready to go to do your movements. So I like to do foam rolling, like I said, at the beginning. You can also do it at the end. So it doesn't really matter either way. I just like to throw it in there because I do see a lot of benefits with myself and with my clients. So I throw that at the beginning. Depending upon which one you do, you can spend a few minutes there. I like to spend 10 rotations. And so normally what that means is you'll go back and forth on whatever given muscle group it is 10 times. And so you'll find any point of tension. So where you feel that there may be a knot or some sort of pain or tension or whatever it is, then you'll sit your foam roller right there, go small back and forth, try and work it out, and then you'll continue to go and elongate your muscle and get it all warmed up. So like I said, that's your first one. That's going to be your foam rolling, utilizing those different areas. Number two is going to be your static and dynamic stretching. So another one that people aren't as keen on, depending upon who you ask, is your static stretching, throwing that at the very end when everything is warmed up and ready to go, and spending more time on your dynamic stretching at the beginning to make sure that everything is ready and you are ready to get into your workout. It'd be a little bit different if you were an athlete and wanting to go into your workout doing a little bit more dynamic, because you're going to be doing a lot more power or strength related movements. And for the general lifter, you're coming in utilizing some machines, dumbbells, barbells. You're not going to be doing anything high impact that an athlete may do. So for that reason, I like to throw static and dynamic at the beginning. Like I said, static is just an extra layer of protection to get you ready to go when you are doing your workout. If you are an athlete, you may gravitate more towards doing your dynamic stretching and saving static for the very end. But I like to throw that there, like I said, extra layer of protection at the very beginning. And normally during that time, you can take it 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes if you have a couple more areas, or if it's a leg day and you have a lot more area to cover, a lot more ground to cover to stretch out, you can increase that time there. But you'll do your foam rolling 1 to 2 minutes, and then 2, 3, 4 minutes for your static dynamic stretching. And then you will get into whatever your cardio is, or whatever you're going to be doing to elevate your heart rate. So for me personally, what I would suggest for anyone that's new to the gym, anyone who is just general fitness goer, whatever it is, I would choose some sort of cardio machine, whether it be a treadmill, whether it be a bike, an elliptical, something like that, that'll get you ready. If it's a upper body day, you might gravitate more towards a elliptical because you're getting your arms moving along with your legs. If it's a lower body day, you may just do a treadmill. The reason that I do that is 2 different ways. Number one, it's very low impact, so you're not pre-exhausting yourself or getting super tired before you get into your workout by doing this. It's a lot lower of an impact, which essentially means you're not putting forth as much effort into doing those two things. So you're going to take it nice and easy. And then number two, especially for our beginners, it's a really good opportunity to take a look and survey the gym, especially if you don't really know what exercises you're going to be doing that day, how to structure it, whatever the case may be. You can utilize those times to do that. And so it may mitigate a little bit of embarrassment that you may feel walking around trying to figure out what you want to do. At least on those, you are doing something while also trying to plan out what exercises and things that you're going to be doing. With that, you can do that anywhere from 3-4 minutes, as long as it takes to get yourself warmed up to where you feel that you're ready. And then also, if you're trying to plan out your workout, then you can do that as well. So with that, with those 3 different things, we have tackled every single objective that we're trying to do. So we're stretching, so we're accomplishing that with our foam rolling, our static, and our dynamic stretching. We're elevating our heart rate with the walk or cardio machine, whatever we are doing there. And then we are warming up our muscles as well. So we're doing that with our dynamic stretches. So dynamic would be anything moving, any moving type of stretch. So if you did leg swings, if you did lunges and you twisted with them, anything like that, that would be a dynamic stretch. And your static ones would be just staying in one place trying to stretch out your muscles. So you're accomplishing the third objective with your cardio, whatever that is, your low impact cardio, and then your dynamic stretches. So like I said, that will normally take you 5 to 10 minutes. It really just depends upon what type of lifestyle you live, and some areas that you may need to improve upon, especially if you have an office job and you sit a lot. You might need to spend a little bit more time stretching and getting yourself warmed up. But if you have a physical labor job, then you may not need to spend as much time, especially if you're coming in after work. So those are the main objectives that you want to do in order to make sure that you do have an effective warm-up. Once you get good at all of that kind of stuff, normally you can get into spending a little bit more time just foam rolling and doing your static stretches at the very beginning. And then what I will do sometimes too, which I also highly recommend, is whatever movement that you do. So let's say, for example, I get done with all of my stretches and then I go immediately into a back squat. So I'm not going to throw on whatever my working weight is, or essentially what weight I want to be doing for the given amount of reps that specific day. What I'm going to be doing is going as low as I possibly can on the weight. So if it's just the bar, I'm going to throw that on, go through the movement a few times, make sure that I get warmed up, not only physically in my body, but get warmed up in the movement specifically. And then I will work my way up with the weights to a point to where I feel I am ready and primed to get into what I call my working weight. Or if you have your workout structured at 3 sets of 10 reps, it's whatever weight that you're going to be doing those 3 sets of 10 reps for. So that would be considered your working weight, whatever you're going to do your programming for. So I will do that, and then any other exercise after that. Sometimes, depending upon how I feel, I will throw in a warm-up right before. So if it's a machine, I'll throw in a lighter weight, do the movement, make sure I'm warmed up with that specific machine or that specific movement, and then I will go into what I actually want to lift for that given day. So hopefully that all helps, and that all helps you understand how to structure a warm-up. So to kind of recap everything, first things first, you're going to foam roll. You're going to spend a couple of minutes there, 1 to 2 minutes. Make sure that you're getting every single area that you can possibly think of, whether it be a lower body or upper body. Make sure everything is rolled out properly. Number 2, you're going to go into your static and your dynamic stretches. So your static is non-moving stretches. Your dynamic is your moving stretches. Be sure that you take a handful of those, 5, 6, 7 stretches, if they are for legs specifically, and just make sure that you stretch everything out. Spend 10, 15 seconds in those given stretches. If they are one-sided, then make sure you do the other side for the same amount of time. Make sure you stretch out all properly. So go static, then dynamic. Dynamic, you don't need to do a whole bunch, just do 1 or 2. In some cases, you can leave those out as well if you feel as though walking on a treadmill will be more comfortable for you. I like to throw those in there just as an added layer of protection to reduce risk of injury. And then we go into whatever cardio you decide. I would suggest some sort of machine to get your body moving, to get you ready to go. It also helps you survey, especially if you're new to the gym. So once you do all those, you accomplish all 3 of the goals. So then you can get into your workout, which is going to be the bulk of your time, kind of like what we talked about last time, and then you can structure it however you want. So hopefully that answered a lot of questions, made things a lot more clear in terms of how to do a warm-up. The next time we'll go over a cool down, some of the things that we can do in a cool down, how long that should be, when to throw in like abs, core, things like that, all in that. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe as well. If you do have any comments or questions about anything that I did say, leave those down below as well. If you need a little bit more of a breakdown on the different things that you should be doing in your warm-up, definitely let me know on those. A lot of the time I will have those options up in the video as well, so then you can reference all of those and save those, come back to them if you need them. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you in the next one.